What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Classic Chronicles. I hope you guys enjoyed Monday's vlog with my story on having getting back to go to the John Jay. Last week it was a fun experience. So if you haven't checked out that vlog, make sure you do. It was a fun one. So today I wanted to talk about. I know I briefly touched on it in the last vlog about the cast party for the last days of Judas Iscariot, which I had the pleasure of doing at John Jay while I was there. So let's get into the whole story. This is a fun one. So basically, got to work with Professor Dana Tarantino on that one. She is amazing. Shout out to her. So basically, she needed extras for the play. She had all the main parts cast. Jesus and Judus and all of those main parts. She had them all cast. So she needed extras, and myself, Crystal, Samantha, another friend of ours and maybe like three other people had gotten the parts of extras, and we we basically sat on the stage because the play was basically like a trial, the trial of Judas for betraying Jesus. So we sat on a jury, and in order to make it a little more interesting for us, I should say, just we came up with backstories on how we got to purgatory and stuff like that. I don't remember what my exact backstory was. I think I slept with a lot of chicks or something. I don't know. Some absurd thing I made up. So okay. So one thing I remember about that is the absurd schedule. Like, I mean, it was nuts. I mean, we had rehearsal like 6 days a week, man. Sometimes seven. Uh, and then on top of our classes and all the other stuff that we were doing at John Jay, this was during my sophomore year at John Jay, so it would have been '09, I believe, spring of '09, or yeah, spring of '09. So it was a crazy schedule. Got to work with a lot of amazing people. Shout out to Isaac, Chelsea, Zach, Langston, Ryan, Sabrina, Sam, Crystal, like I said, Steve, who else? Regina, Marta. Oh man, so many to name, man. It was just an amazing time with an amazing group of people. Uh, so we did that, and one thing that really stood out to me was one of the final scenes in the play, and the collective gasp that it got from the crowd, in attendance every single night. uh it was the scene where Judas finds out that he uh where Judas betrays Jesus, and the blocking call was for him to, in other words, the direction was for him to like literally spit in Jesus' face. So I remember sitting there up on stage under those hot lights, and every time that the scene would get done, you would hear a collective gasp from the crowd, because like there was literal spit flying. Because I mean, we made it seem as realistic as possible, man. So yeah, all you would hear is a collective gasp from the crowd as a man was literally spit on in his face, and couldn't do anything about it. So that was one of the defining moments of the play for me. And another crazy moment was when we the rap party, which oh my god. Okay, so we rapped after the final night. We rapped. We wanted to go out and do something, but we couldn't decide exactly what. So a friend of ours named Erin, who was a production assistant on the play, let us use her apartment, and but we had to do it on the rooftop of her apartment. So I, like everybody's talking about it, and I'm like, damn, maybe I don't think I can go because I have no way getting home. I didn't know how to travel back then on with anything that wasn't Accessory, which is the service that I use to get around the city primarily here. Um, so I didn't know how to travel at the time without it. So if I didn't know how to travel, how am I gonna get home from there if I went to the cast party? So another what do you call it? So after some figuring out, I was able to and convincing my mom that I'd be okay. That I was able to go to the cast party. So all right, shout out to Ryan and Ian and all the guys that I just mentioned that helped me get up the stairs because it was like I said, it was on the rooftop of her house. So they carried me up the stairs, and everybody was there. It was a cool time. We were all just chilling. But what happened was, what Aaron wasn't prepared for is all the people that weren't part of the cast that were invited by the cast members. So they weren't part of the cast, but they were invited by the cast. So maybe for the most part, cool people. She said no bullshit better go on and all that. So it was cool. It was cool, but there were a select few people. One of them being this guy named Timothy, who got so drunk he was about to jump off the roof, and we had to save him. And then this one, the next person who I'm going to mention, her name was Stephanie. Wow, she was just a handful, man. So she came over to me and was like. It was like, hey, let's dance. Music's playing in the party. Everybody's having a good time, bullshitting, chilling. Music's playing in the party. She's like, hey, man, come on and dance with me. And I'm like, oh, no, I don't want to. And then she's like, come on, get up. And I'm like, I can't get up. I'm handicapped. I'm like, because I'm sitting. Let me back up a little bit. So I'm sitting on a stone ledge up there when I get up to the party, and they tried to carry my motorized chair up the roof. God bless them. God bless the dudes. But when they carried my chair up, my chair didn't fit through the door, so we had to leave it, on the rooftop, on the door to the on the rooftop door. Like couldn't get it into the party, so I had to sit on a stone ledge. So this chick named Stephanie comes up to me, says, come on, let's dance, da da da. And I'm like, no, I can't get up, I'm handicapped. She's like, no, you're not. And I'm like, yes, I am. She's like, no, you're making it up. You just don't want to dance with me, and all this. So I'm like, no, I'm not. And then so she leaves me, and by this point she's a little intoxicated and all that stuff. So I'm like, okay, cool. So then she leaves me, comes back, and she's like, come on, get up. I want to dance or whatever. So I'm like, I can't get up. And then what do you call it? So then now I guess I'm angering her by saying like she thinks I'm making it up, basically, like I'm faking my handicap. So she just proceeds to like start slapping me and like slapping me like in the face or and trying to get to my face. I'm trying to block her, and I'm like, and all of a sudden all of the time I'm going, stop, stop, stop. And then what do you call it? So then I yell for my friend Crystal. She comes jetting from the back of the party to the front and sees what's going on, and she's like, hey, you keep fucking with him, you're gonna have a problem with me. So then chick leaves me alone or whatever for the rest of the night. So then, fast forward a couple of hours, sun's getting ready to come up, party's wrapping up. So I'm getting ready to go downstairs. So they're carrying me downstairs, whatever, and then the guys, and then what do you call it? So and everybody else is coming down after they get me down. So as the rest of the people are coming down because the party's wrapping up, obviously. So as they're coming down, so they start kicking her in the head because she's passed out on the stairway. They start kicking her in the head, and she rolls down maybe one stair or something like that people are just kicking her in the head, trying to get downstairs and trying to clear out before everybody, the people in the apartment wake up. So like everybody's trying to clear out. So she's she's getting kicked in the head or whatever, and all of a sudden you see, next thing you know, 2 minutes later, door opens. Guys got her in. One of the guys got have her on his shoulder, and he's and like, what do you call it? He's trying to hail a cab at the same time and all this stuff. And so she's passed out. He's trying to hail a cab, and then we finally get a cab over there on West 57th Street. So we finally get a cab, and she. Yeah, so we tell the driver, yeah, here's $20, take her wherever, however far $20 gets you, and then so the guy drives away, whatever, confused, and then that was the end of that. And I went home on the bus. Shout out to my buddy Chris Balda for helping me navigate home, and that was that, man. So it was a wild night. Lots of booze. Debauchery and fun times, man. I'll never forget it. It was a great party. Shout out to everybody, like I said. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this week's vlog. But as usual, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and most importantly, hit the notification bell so you don't miss whenever I drop a video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.